Hey, welcome back to the Firm My Life podcast. Look, today's topic is going to be on encouraging you to not give up. The other day we had this thing happen at the house, and some of you guys saw it on my story. I posted some pictures and videos. But we had this freak accident happen. And somehow my wife's very expensive wedding ring got flushed down the toilet. It was just how it happened. I don't really know. It was just one of those bizarre things, and it happened. So right outside the house, there's a clean out for our sewer system. So I went out there and I was like, maybe that thing didn't go all the way into the tank. So I unscrewed that clean out and I looked down in there and the pipe's right there. And I was like, maybe that thing's just setting in there. So, nothing had been flushed since then. No water had been ran. So I was like, I don't really want to stick my hand in there, which I really greatly regretted later, as you're going to find out. But so I stuck something down in there. I was like, if that ring is in there, I'm going to stick this in there. It was just a little tool that I had. I was like, man, this will stop it. So I had them flush it, and here come the water. And I heard something going ding right off that little mirror that I had stuck down in there. I was like, man, there it is. I got it. And then after all the water went through, the ring was not there. And, if I were to just reached my hand down in there, and I really think I could have caught it right there, but I didn't, and it turned into a very big ordeal. So I didn't know what to do, how we was going to get that thing back. I ended up buying a little camera on Amazon. We ran it through the pipes. I pulled the little lid thing, this little square that you can pull out of the top of the septic tank. I uncovered it, pulled that thing off, looked down in there, and run the camera down in there. Just no possible way to find that thing. And so we decided we was going to have to clean the tank out, the septic tank. So we stuck a pump in there off on the back corner where the ring most likely wasn't. We figured it had, just dropped straight down. We pumped all the water out, and there was about 8 or 10 inches of just, brown slushy in the bottom of that tank. And we figured somewhere in that 12 inches of slush is this wedding ring. So we decided, the only way to get it out is to just get in there and clean that tank out. So I got down in that tank, and my dad was helping me out, my dad and my brother. And so they would drop a little tank down in there, we cut the top out of a gas tank and we tied a rope to it. And I would dip that stuff up. They would pull it up, pour it into a container that had these holes in it where all that slush would run through and the ring would stay. So they was running a water hose over that as I emptied out that entire tank. We cleaned it out, took a water hose, washed it down. That ring was not in that tank. It was at that moment that we was like, we're never going to find this thing. That's just absolutely impossible. It has to be here, and it wasn't. And I had ran water hoses down the pipes. We had did all kinds of stuff. We felt certain that it wasn't in the pipes. Well, after we got it all cleaned out, we kind of, it was late at night. We quit, and that night I was laying in bed, and I was thinking, man, as odd as it seems, it has to be in the pipe. It just has to be. There's no other place it could be. We had pulled the toilet, looked all in the toilet. It was not there. So I decided I was going to try one more time. So once again, I ran some water hose through the pipes. I held some stuff over the end of them to see if it would come out. It never did. The third time, I went out there and I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull a T-shirt through these pipes, hold a little strainer or something on the end of the pipe down there in the sewer tank and just pull it through and see if that thing comes out. Well, I started doing it. Didn't have my T-shirt tied onto my rope tight enough. So the T-shirt, it was in a big old ball. It got stuck in the pipe, completely clogging the sewer. By that time, I was completely frustrated. I was like, forget this stupid ring. Let's just get the septic unstopped and, we're just never going to find it. So I quit. I went and I made some phone calls, did some looking. I was going to find one of them electric, snake things that you run down the sewer and clean it out. So before we left to go to town and get that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try one more time sticking this water hose through, see if I can get that rag out. So I stuck it in there. I jammed it down there as hard as I could. It's a pretty stiff water hose. And I guess that T-shirt had just absorbed enough water. It came out and was floating in the sewer tank. So I fished it out. And my wife, she's like, look, you can't give up. You got to try one more time. You got to pull this through there and see if it's in there. So we did. We ran we ran a rope from the clean out right outside the house where that very first place that I saw the ring come through. And we ran it all the way through, all the way to the septic tank, tied a T-shirt on it, pulled it through there. And I was laying there, and under the T that's in the septic tank, I had a T-shirt tied in the bottom of it when I was catching everything that came out of the pipe. Pulled the T-shirt through. I seen a few things drop in, no ring. And I grabbed that T-shirt and I set it on the ground beside me. I just looked around like, it's either in this T-shirt or it's not. Reached over, flipped that thing over, dumped it out fell some toilet paper, and the ring. There it was. And we worked on that thing for 3 days, cleaned out the entire septic tank, but we found it. I mean, it just, after that process, it just really spoke to me because there's been so many times in my life that I felt discouraged. I felt ready to give up on my promises, on my dreams, on things that were happening in my life. Right before the breakthrough, right before I found what I was searching for. So I want you to know, no matter what it is in your life right now that's going on, maybe you're on a weight loss journey, some kind of fitness thing, it's a health problem that you're fighting. Maybe it's a financial thing. Maybe it's you're trying to get out of debt. You're trying to learn how to make more money. It's a career. Maybe you're trying to finish up college. Maybe you're trying to start a business. I don't know what it is that you're going through, but here is what I wanted to share with you. Don't stop. Don't give up before the breakthrough. Because here's the thing. Right before we do get the breakthrough, right before that thing does happen or whatever it may be, there's always that point where it seems like it's not going to happen. It seems like it's impossible. It seems like we're not going to see fruits of our labor. Don't give up before you find what you're looking for. Push on. Keep climbing. Keep working. Keep going forward. You're going to get there. Don't give up right before you break through. So listen, I'm going to drop a couple links below this video. Just some free trainings that I have on my website. All right, I want you to go check them out. They're really good. I think they'll help you.